you know the Brompton, you can go.
So I'm gonna fix this stuff before heading on the plane tomorrow, because as soon as I get back, I'm cycling to Paris.
So this video won't have as much cycling as the previous one, or excitement I guess, but maybe it'll be a good demonstration of how you can have a good cycling holiday with a partner or spouse who isn't that into cycling. So we left Osaka and we arrived in Kinosaki and checked into the nice classic old style ryokan, which was quite nice. We only stayed there for one night because we wanted to try a different one as well, which was a slightly higher end. And yeah, the prices are quite high, but I guess maybe including breakfast and dinner, it's still pretty reasonable. Plus, I think it's around Golden Week, so maybe the prices were high. But they dressed us up in the yukata and then sent us to explore the town a bit before dinner. Some weird monkey show that didn't really understand the humor. I forget why we chose Kinosaki in the first place, but it's essentially an onsen town with a few public baths spread out throughout the town. Might have just showed up on one of those lists when you search for onsens in Japan that are close to Kyoto and Osaka. But overall it was great. I think there weren't that many foreign tourists. Felt like mostly Japanese tourists, and there weren't that many people. We also found a bike rental place for the next day. Dinner was slightly underwhelming, probably because they put all the nice dishes up front and then just slow trickle of other smaller ones. And after dinner we went to one of the onsens. It's not the type of onsen where it's like completely natural environment, so there are some man-made features, but they do have some nice rock gardens as well. Breakfast was good, and then we went to grab the e-bike for Diane. So Kinosaki is the town we're staying in here. This was just a few of the places we marked out. And yeah, they have a lot of public onsens. You pay an entrance fee, but if you stay at the ryokans, they include free entrance usually. For the bike ride, essentially I just marked out a few interesting points that I thought I wanted to check out. There were a couple restaurants here that we went to. This Genbudo Park has the cool rock formations. And then there was just like a little interesting town that kind of was in this valley, so I just marked off this temple. And then yeah, went through some of these fields. There was another shrine over here we went to.
I'll follow you.
Watch out, traffic. So slow. Careful, there's a car behind
How
us.
do I turn this on? It's not really doing anything. Power on, okay. Should be fine now. Oh, now it's coming.
When we cross the bridge, it should be quieter.
In 300 meters, turn right.
How does it compare to the Santander bike? Faster? Oh. Oh, they're pushing. Maybe they don't have electric bikes. You gotta work for your crab bowl, dude. Our first stop was the Genbudo Park Museum, which is like a, I guess a geological natural history museum. They had some cool rocks as paintings, rocks as food, rocks as instruments, and some cool minerals and fossils. This park is famous for the basalt columns formed by the cooling of volcanic rock, which forms these interesting columns with hexagonal patterns that kind of come apart in little blocks. It used to be a quarry, so that's why there's these caves where people kind of took the stones for building material. There wasn't even a bike rack, so we just locked the bikes to each other and left it in the bike parking area.
Taking this little side road up to a temple thing. The houses here are beautiful. Just the surrounding landscape in this little valley. Sprinkles of rain.
Turn left, then you will arrive at your destination.
I think it's here.
Cemetery time.
You gotta wash your hands.
It was a short but very steep climb up this hill to get to the temple, and Diane was very happy that she beat me up despite her having an e-bike. It was getting quite rainy at this point, so we turned back towards the seafood restaurants for lunch.
We're going to get seafood.
The first place we stopped at just had one thing on the menu, so we just had one to leave room for other stuff later.
I think we actually missed the hardest part of the rain while we ate inside, so that's good. I think it's calming down a bit now.
This area is known for its crab, so at the next place we tried a couple of the crab meal sets. After that we continued back into town where we stopped at this mochi dessert place. I guess it's like a novelty to grill the mochi so it's a bit crunchy. It was okay, I guess. And this was our 22-kilometer route of the day. It took us almost 6 hours elapsed time, so definitely not in a rush. A lot of off-bike exploration here. When we got back, the previous ryokan already transferred our luggage to the new place at Yuraku. So this one was like way higher end, but honestly it was worth it considering the views and the food quality, which you'll see later.
And Diane's down at the private onsen.
While Dan was resting, I decided to take a quick ride to the coast since we wouldn't have time the next day. Anything too interesting in this area. I think there was like a marine park zoo thing. But yeah, cool seeing the Sea of Japan. I got back with enough time to fit in a quick bath before dinner. Most traditional ryokans have shared bathing facilities and private ensuite toilets. This one was nice because you could still lock the door and have it to yourself or your family. Dinner though was like on another level compared to the night before. The presentation was good, the quality was good, and everyone had their own little private dining booth as well. Another specialty in this area was Tajima beef, which we didn't have the grilled version of, so we added this extra for about £30. We ate for like 2 hours and we're completely stuffed by the end.
They came in, made our bed during dinner. Looks amazing out there.
Almost left my bike locked outside overnight, but just remembered to bring it in. And we also had access to like this private bookable onsen tub room.
Sun's finally come out this morning. Just had breakfast and packing up. We'll try to leave the luggage here and then take the cable car up to the mountain, do a quick little hike down to a temple. But yeah, it's another like 3-hour train to the hotel in Kyoto.
It wasn't until leaving Kinosaki when I saw these rocks at the train station that I realized the mascot was based on the basalt column hexagonal rocks.
Caught the train with 1 minute to spare because Diane wanted this bento box.
We stayed in the Gion district of Kyoto on the east side and walked around some super touristy areas, which was a bit of a shock after the quiet days in Kinosaki. But it was still nice, especially during sunset.
The best deal, $5.90.
The plan for the day was for me to cycle to Rashiyama where I'd meet Diane and she'd rent a bike there. This was a bike shop that I wanted to visit, and it was just opening as I cycled by, and luckily the owner or manager let me in to take a quick look.
Oh my god, such a cool store. They're not even open yet, but they let me in. I'm gonna have to come back. Oh my god. Look at these headsets.
The bike rental place was right outside the station, and it was only 1,600 yen for the whole day for an e-bike. And so we just biked around, going to some temples. Diane ended up staying at this one for an hour and a half, rewriting some Buddhist sutra. So I just killed time by walking around this lake in this temple area and just taking photos and videos. Since we spent so much time there, it ended up kind of ruining the rest of the day's plans to see some other temples we plan to go to. So we just went to grab lunch.
Stopped to eat here. Originally we wanted to go to a different one overlooking the lake, which looked really nice, but looks like it was closed. This place is not bad. Very cheap and very local feeling, so it's got a really nice garden here too. We also stumbled upon this last temple right next to Gyoji Temple, and besides the receptionist, there was no one else here. It was just like almost completely overgrown. The sun-faded pictures around the temple from previous, I guess, publications definitely added to that overgrown and abandoned feeling. And yeah, you could even see like the bamboo shoots growing out of the ground. After returning Diane's rental bicycle, I biked back to our hotel, the 12 kilometers, and stopped by the Hum Hum Hug cycle store again. This time it was actually open. Tons of stuff to see in there. I just bought a hat as a souvenir because I don't really need anything for my bike at the moment. And yeah, went back to the hotel, dropped off the bike, and then came out again for dinner. The next day we did more touristy, non-bike related stuff. Visited Nijo Castle, walked around the Kamogawa Delta, and then up to Shimogamo Shrine.
It smells like poop.
Smells like poop. Some modernist painting in a park.
Yeah, everyone's doing different things. It's nice. The neck is like funny.
So fuzzy, this game. Why does it not keep walking? Keep walking, bird. Finished the day trying the takoyaki stand outside our hotel.
Our last morning in Kyoto was rainy, which is fine since we were leaving on the Shinkansen to Tokyo. As you can see, I can fit my bike in this upper luggage area.
So fast.
Our somewhat cramped hotel room in Akihabara.
Absolutely miserable. Good day to go shopping. I have my ultralight umbrella. That is not suitable for this type of wind.
Saw a Dahan curl for the first time, and went to a lot of camera stores and other random anime stores while Diane rested. Then we grabbed dinner and then went to Don Quixote and bought some fun things. And this was my personal shopping haul for the day. But the day after, I went to the Tokyo City flea market. It happens most weekends, but check their Instagram to see if it gets canceled due to weather. Diane wasn't really interested, so I just went myself, and I spent a few hours there before meeting her at this new urban development where they actually happen to have circles. Another famous, I guess, Japanese bike store that stocks really cool bikes. Interesting to see a bike store in such a high-end mall.
Can't even move over there. I don't.
Diane said she wanted to walk from Shibuya up to Shinjuku, and no complaints from me because in between is Blue Lug at Yoyogi Park. So spent some time there and picked up a few things for friends. Actually, my friend, the bike Felix, had an order there, so I picked it up for him, and yeah, hopefully it'll be in a future build at Big Box's Hiss.
The ridiculous Amazon boxes. And there's like one more package tomorrow. And then my friend's bike parts, pottery stuff.
Very happy with my flea market haul. Fortunately or unfortunately, made everything else seem super expensive, so I didn't really buy any other pottery related things. The Amazon boxes contained a bunch of tools, or toolboxes, along with this Mitu Toyo digital caliper that I've been eyeing, and some different types of matcha, because we didn't end up buying any in Kyoto for some reason, and a bunch of pedals, MKS pedals. Diane left a couple days before me, so I dropped her off at the train station, and took a look at the Tokyo National Museum since I was in the area already. A lot of cool stuff. And after this, I went back home to pick up my bike and started a ride on at around 4 p.m. The plan was to go check out the toilets from the movie Perfect Days. It's
kind of a interesting movie if you're into that type of thing, but you can Google it and see what it's about. So I did that, biked around the city, and checked out a few bike stores again. Another blue lug. This was Sunday, May 4th, on a kind of public holiday week, so traffic probably isn't as bad as what it normally would be for Tokyo, which made it great for cycling. Wearing the new Montbell shirt that I bought the day before, since I was trying to get it close.
Traffic Sunday evening. Currently heading back to Shinjuku to a restaurant. Diane might have left her sunglasses there last night. Any Tokyo locals watching? How's my cycling? Is it breaking all the rules? This is the restaurant that Diane left her glasses at, and luckily they were actually there. After picking up the glasses, I started my Tokyo bathroom tour. Actually, this one wasn't part of it, but it was really interesting anyways. Made it. First toilet. Started a bit late because I was in the museum for a lot longer than expected, but also heading to the other blue lug. I think it's still open. It's close by here, so.
According to an employee I spoke to the day before, this location is their biggest one, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. A lot more Brompton bags and stuff here as well compared to the other location, I think.
I've never wanted square taper cranks until now.
I didn't buy much since I already got my blue lug triangles from the day before. I did grab this Fairweather Dyneema stem bag, which is super light at like 35 grams and has a bit more structure than the one that I currently have. And another toilet.
I was just navigating point to point with the locations I marked on my Google Maps, which worked out alright since it was Sunday night, so the roads weren't busy anyways. And there's quite a lot of bike lanes on most of the roads here. This one was near Yoyogi Park, and so I locked the bike up and then walked up to the shrine, which featured heavily in the movie as well. I wish I could spontaneously lock my bike and explore a park in London, but instead you kind of have to like plan out every single one of your outings to make sure there's somewhere to store or lock your bike properly.
Very peaceful evening. See if Mr. Cat wants to play. Another toilet checked off.
So this toilet and the one after is actually supposed to be transparent until you go in and lock the door and it becomes opaque, but apparently they're not working during the colder months for some reason. In total, I saw 10 toilets from the movie. Don't know how many in total there are, but those are the ones that I marked off before I got bored.
Sorry, I don't speak English.
I didn't know the Brompton you can go.
Yeah, it depends on the gearing, yeah. It's an e-bike.
Yeah, but it's like easy.
They limit the speed, right?
Yeah. I'm a road cyclist. So
Oh.
yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, me too.
That was a fun little interaction. But yeah, I didn't actually see that many Bromptons in Japan at all. My guess is that it's so safe here that there's no reason to have to bring your bike into places, and people would just rather get a cheap bike. And yeah, I even brought it in to do some shopping that night because I couldn't find a bike rack and I wasn't about to lock it across the street or around the block or something. The rack came in handy still to carry the thing I bought. And here's another toilet. And finish the night off with some conveyor belt sushi. This is a famous chain apparently, but I don't think it was as good as the other one we had. And this was the route I took that day. This room is still a mess after Diane left because there's just so much stuff. Saving the packaging for packing up the bike. And yeah, gonna cycle down to the new fish market. They moved the Tsukiji fish market to the new place. I'm gonna go down there, drop by, and then go visit the Gundam base place because you kind of have to as a Gundam fan. Again, traffic really wasn't that bad. It was a Monday, but I think it is, again, the Golden Week holiday, so probably not as busy as what it's normally like.
Saw some interesting department stores, which kind of made me want to come back the day after to do some maybe browsing before the flight. Once you get to this kind of new development area, which looks like it's maybe built on reclaimed land, the city really looks different and opens up. This is a wide pedestrian bridge. Stop by the fish market. It's so busy. Guess it's the Golden Week thing, but yeah, expensive and busy. I'm gonna spend that much. I don't want to eat being jostled around in a cafeteria. There were tons of events happening in this area, like a barbecue meat event, Oktoberfest. Yeah, but when it got to the Gundam base, unfortunately they had like a reservation system in place, maybe for Golden Week, and I didn't make a reservation, so I didn't get to go in. Sad. After that slight disappointment, I decided to go to Brompton Junction, Tokyo. Took like a longer route around Tokyo Tower. Honestly, it was a bit disappointing, especially after seeing Laurel Works and Blue Lug. But they did have the bronze T-line. And this is Giacomo, their bike mechanics bike. I also dropped by this Loro bike shop, but I actually don't think it's the same as the Loro Cycle Works. And I did end up buying a Wotan Craft stem bag here too. I have way too many stem bags at this point. This was the shopping haul. But the shopping never stops, and I found this under the railway shopping area of small artisanal boutiques and super interesting stores. And finished the night off with some ramen. It was pretty good. And this was the updated shopping haul. They were selling the coffee bean bag for like £1, and I thought I'd make good packing material along with all this clothes. So I'm finally epoxying my saddle back on. So I'm gonna fix this stuff before heading on the plane tomorrow. Because as soon as I get back, I'm cycling to Paris, so better make sure everything's working. Kind of disassembled the rack and packed it a bit. Put some padding here, just prevent scratching, and I got some nice thick foam from some stuff I bought. And then I'm just gonna line this with cardboard for now, and I'm gonna put some clothes and other stuff that can be used as padding when I put this bike in. Not looking forward to hauling this to the train station. Got the backpack here, and then like a maybe front backpack, and just lift this by hand. And it's kind of raining. Should be about an 8-minute walk to the station. Oh, long trip. Perfect amount of shopping, I guess. I'll be big and fit a bit more stuff in here. So yeah, I walked around to the Muji flagship store down in Ginza, and some other department store, but I didn't see anything I had to have, and this flea market kind of spoiled me for prices. I was tempted by these tea containers, and I saw them in Paris for twice as much, but didn't end up picking them up. A lot of the streets are pedestrianized for the public holiday, which was nice to walk around. And I checked out the Sony Ginza Park event space. The Creepy Nuts, that's the name of the band, audio display was pretty cool. And yeah, I went back to the hotel to pick up my bags, and that was pretty much my trip to Japan.
The good thing is they have these carts that you can push up escalators in the airport.
And my flight was delayed by like 4 hours, and I was stuck in this shopping mall, and Japan just wouldn't let go of my wallet, and I bought more stuff, including this fancy matcha. I had a crazy layover in Shenzhen again for like 12 hours, but the timing worked out that my dad was there, and we could get out of the airport and at least sleep in a hotel. Unfortunately, he does snore, as you can hear. So, even though I didn't get to see the transparent bathroom in Tokyo, at least I saw one in China. Had a nice big breakfast and then got to the airport. The flight was delayed by like an hour or so, but luckily for me, there was a space beside me on the flight, so I just pretty much slept the whole time. It was great. And I mentioned this previously as well, but the plan is to land at around 9 p.m. and then unpack, get ready, repack, head down to New Haven for a 9 a.m. ferry, which realistically means I should be there around like 7:30. So yeah, the adventure doesn't end here. I guess it's like a part 3 of this Japan to Paris trip.